Self-responsibility is a discipline that must be honed if healthy self-esteem is ever to become a reality. The concept is not a hard one to grasp, but embracing and truly living a lifestyle where you take responsibility for yourself, it's more difficult than you may initially imagine. Living a life that embodies self-responsibility means you take complete responsibility for where you are at this present moment and place no blame or excuse towards anyone else. The clothes you wear on your back, the food that has been put into your body, the level of physical health which you exhibit, the relationships you currently find yourself in are all your own doing. Self-responsibility means accepting the manifestation of your life and owning the fact that all of the positive and negative influences that have formed your current circumstance are 100% your own creation. It means not blaming others for what has or has not come to fruition in your life. You take ownership of your mistakes and your solutions. In either situation, positive or negative, this realization is empowering. And that's because you can only take action on the things that you recognize. When you toss aside your denial for what is, you can approach the problems in your life for what they are and start taking positive steps towards improving the life you lead. Now, there are 5 general focal points that you can start taking responsibility for right now. And once you learn these pivotal areas, you can begin focusing on improving them through monitored consistency. You'll find that once you start contributing constructively to these 5 facets of self-responsibility, the world will open up to you and you'll notice a very sharp, positive change in your mental outlook. And that's because you'll be taking action on a daily basis and strengthening your self-responsibility to work in your favor. You'll understand that this accountability is both a liability and a measuring tool to keep your thoughts and actions in line and working towards your greater expansion. But the only way to reach that greater expansion is to remain responsible for yourself every single day. And to do that, there are 5 important ideals that you must embody every single day. Number 1, decide what you want out of life. The first step creates a goal or a target for you to strive towards. You're taking aim at a goal or idea of what kind of person you want to be and what kind of life you want to live. You don't have to know the how of this goal. You only need to know the what and the why. What do you envision your life to become? Why do you want things to be this way? Become obsessed with the daydream of your ultimate reality and play in this space mentally and tweak this world of pretend until you have all the details in place. Get excited over the improvements in your life that contribute to this ideal future. And then start asking yourself why these things are important to you. If you decide you want to live in a big house with a swimming pool, a wife and kids, a dog, and a big yard, ask yourself why. Why this image drums up feelings of comfort and pleasure. Is it the feeling of family and love? Is it the sense of materialistic success? Is it the security of having a home and place that you can consider your own? Is it all of these things? This first step creates the mental magnet that will pull you towards your desire. You begin to define what you are working towards. And there's a famous quote that says, if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. And when you create your vision and take aim at that vision, you begin to work backwards and carve out the steps that will lead you to accomplishing your dreams. But you'll never reach any kind of success if you can't define what that success is and what that means to you. Decide what you want and begin looking for the steps that will lead to your envisioned future. You are responsible for deciding what you want out of life. Number 2, direct your attention to where it is beneficial. There is a blizzard of distraction that attacks our senses every waking hour. From the moment your alarm goes off, your attention is captured by Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, news, games, TV shows, and a barrage of reality stars who contribute nothing but comparison anxiety to the world. Take ownership of your attention. You are responsible for what you focus on every second of every single day. Am I perusing through Instagram right now, looking at the most relevant memes to pass the time? No. I'm intentionally focused on creating this valuable piece of content for you because I know that is where my attention will serve its best results. Not only for myself, but for others reading this looking to improve themselves. Be conscious of what you are paying attention to. Be aware. With every activity you engage in, ask yourself, is focusing my attention on this right now working towards my ultimate vision of the future? If it is not, you need to reprioritize where you spend your time and what you are giving your attention to. Some people love video games. They can sit for hours and hours relentlessly playing. But at the end of all that time spent, what was really accomplished? Has the dial moved even an inch towards the goals you have defined as important in your life? You are responsible for the attention you place on the activities you are engaged in. Choose to discard the things that suck valuable time from you and replace that attention with pursuits that warrant your devotion. Number 3, cultivate your attitude. How do you feel about life? Are you cynical about things going your way? Do you get discouraged easily? Do you feel apathy towards work, school, relationships, and the activities that fill your day? Perspective is not set in stone. It is malleable. Self-responsibility means being responsible for the attitude you take towards approaching life's ups and downs. You are responsible for your desire and motivation to make things better. Diving into this material is a wonderful example, in and of itself, of how to cultivate your attitude. Developing your attitude means learning and reaching to become a more grounded individual. Gaining wisdom through experience is one way to cultivate your attitude. Try new things and look to the world as a place you can thrive and be happy in. Sometimes this means faking it until you feel it. You're not a robot, and there will be mornings you wake up not feeling particularly enthusiastic or optimistic about the day ahead. And that's okay. You're human, and the effort you make towards finding happiness and peace is what truly counts. It is that effort that forms the discipline of self-responsibility. When you want something so bad, it can sometimes become a self-sabotaging desire. You may want to improve your overall sense of self-esteem so badly that you become hyper-focused on your negative experiences and setbacks in getting there. I'm going to teach you a little trick to accomplishing your goals and dreams in life. The only way to guarantee it will happen is to make the effort towards seeing your goals accomplished without any regard for the outcome of those efforts. You need to be in a mindset of consistency, where whether your attempt at improving your attitude works or not, you're still going to get up every single day and give it your best shot. You're not even thinking about the result. You're just trying to look on the bright side of life whenever you can because you know it's the right thing to do. It's the only way to be your number one ally and give yourself the motivation you need to keep pushing. Soon, you'll recognize that your attitude not only changes your effect on the world, but also how you are received by others. It's a discipline, one that must be worked on consciously every single day. It's also your responsibility and no one else's. Work on yourself. you deserve to have a great attitude. Number 4, managing your ego. You are responsible for how you handle your ego and emotions. Many times, this will mean learning to deal with your emotions using greater intelligence. This comes back to cultivating a discipline for learning and understanding yourself. Do you have negative emotional outbursts that affect you and others? Do you get nervous, anxious, jealous, sad, angry, or generally grumpy at times? Are you able to manage these emotions when they arise and pull back the reins on your reactions in certain situations? You are responsible for how you emotionally respond in any situation. Become a master of yourself. Develop an inner control and understanding of why you feel like you feel at certain moments in your life. When you become responsible for your ego, you learn how to temper your dominance and submissiveness with others. This creates a confidence in your own maturity. You show people that you know how to handle yourself and can navigate life emotionally. Managing your ego means building a strong mind that can withstand adversity. No one can reach this kind of internal understanding for you. It requires a lot of inward analysis and patience on your part. Work towards improving this skill every single day when you contemplate your given circumstance and when you deal with others. Managing your ego is your responsibility. You are responsible for your own happiness and interpretation of your place in life. Never give up on finding the path that will get you there. Number 5, you are responsible for your actions. Having the discipline to perform the right actions at the right time is your responsibility. When the alarm sets off, will you hit the snooze button or fight the resistance and get up out of bed? When that bill is due, will you pay it on time or will you procrastinate and get to it eventually? When you know you should be cleaning out your closet at home but just don't feel like it, will you put it off to an indefinite future date? The best way to get over procrastination is to simply take action. Don't wait until you feel like it. Start whatever activity you should be doing, and your motivation will follow. When you take action on anything, whether it's writing a paper, cleaning a room, exercising, the best way to get it done is to just do it. It sounds stupid, right? Jerry Seinfeld once documented his process for becoming such a prolific comedian. When he was in his 30s, he would write one single joke every day and mark a dry erase calendar with a big red X for that day. After a few days, he had formed a chain on his calendar with X's. He didn't want to break the chain, so he kept writing at least one joke a day. Often we look towards motivation as a catalyst for taking action. We look at someone who is hardworking and successful and we think, he must be very ambitious, or he's such a motivated person. In reality, it's the action that spurs motivation. When I begin creating informational products, I don't know where to start. I had so many ideas that I wanted to convey, it felt like information overload whenever I wanted to simply start creating these different lessons and tutorials. The solution was following Jerry Seinfeld's strategy. I began writing at least 200 words every single day, and 9 out of 10 times those 200 words would inspire another 800. Day after day, the writing began to pour after that initial awkward 200-word start. Soon, I became motivated to finish the product I was working on and carry it through to my audience. Action builds inspiration, and inspiration builds motivation. When you're responsible for your actions, don't let procrastination stifle you. Just do it, and the rest will follow. It's better to start and fall on your face a few times than not do anything at all. If you feel apprehensive about taking action because you fear failure, know that you can only fail forward. and move along closer and closer to your goal. There's no getting around it. No one is going to live this life for you. You've got to take action. It's the way you declare your self-responsibility to the world. When you take action, you turn your thoughts into tangible value. Take action, and then take some more. These 5 areas are the best places to begin this journey of self-responsibility. They are somewhat measurable when you start considering the time you put into all of these facets of your life. When you become more aware of how you are living, you can make adjustments like these to truly ramp up self-esteem somewhat quickly. After all, living a life of discipline and maturity is an admirable thing. I commend you for focusing on the important area of self-responsibility. Not only is it a pillar of healthy self-esteem, it is also a service you provide to others around you. You become a producer in this world rather than a consumer. You infuse happiness in situations rather than dilute it. Most importantly, you learn to stand on your own 2 feet, and that becomes the backbone of your self-efficacy.